Hi babes, welcome back to my channel, BTT Beauty Talk Tuesday with your girl Nika. If you are new, thank you for checking out my channel. If you're returning, welcome back babes. I'm glad you joined me again. So we are going to complete this look, which was highly requested, using my favorite palette, that Subculture palette. Yes, I have not done a video, shame on me, using this palette, but I'm here today, right? Okay. Yes. You see this? You see this? I did show you, I had a palette, I had a video on like my favorites and stuff. So this palette was in there, so some of you may have seen it. If you have not seen that video yet, I'll link it down below also. But the star of the show today is the lid color, which is this color, Electric. Tell me that is not gorgeous. That is so gorgeous. Like, it's just so beautiful. So if you are new, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any more of my BTTs. And also like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends to tell your friends to tell your friends to come join you every Tuesday with the BTTs. Okay? So to start out this makeup look, I'm just brushing out my brows and I'm laying the hairs down to the direction that my natural hairs go. And then I'm going to go in using the MAC Spiked Brow Pencil. This has actually become one of my favorite brow pencils and my go-to. This is what I've been using for my brows lately. I received this box in the BoxyCharm subscription, which is an amazing box. But I've been using it ever since, non-stop. I've neglected my Benefit Brow Wiz pencil that I swore by. But this pencil, if you have not tried it, I've never tried the MAC brow pencils, but this pencil is the business. And I love a natural brow, so it helps me achieve that natural brow look effortlessly, okay? So what I'm doing is just brushing the hairs up in the front just to mimic real hair-like strokes. And then I'm going to go ahead and just blend that out as well because I like my brows to look as natural as possible. And to each his own is how you want your brows, but I prefer my brows to look natural. And of course, when you get that good brow, you gotta dance it off, right? What I like to do is stretch out my skin and pull my forehead back so I can create the arch in my eyebrows that I don't have. So that's what works for me to create that arch. Then I'm gonna go in with the LA Pro Concealer in medium beige just to clean up my brows underneath. And you may have noticed, but I don't clean up the top, just underneath. And then I'm going to use that concealer on my eyelid as well for my base. Using the Royal Land Nickel Flat Eyeliner Brush, I'm just cleaning up my brows and blending out that concealer that I applied. I love using this brush because it just gets it very precise. Then I'm going to go in and use the Aspirin setting powder just to set that concealer that I applied. And I'm just going to use a tiny amount. I'm not going to go ahead and pack it on. So I'm just enough to set that and allows my eyeshadow to blend easy. And then we're going to use that Subculture palette that you all have been waiting to see. I'm going to go in with my Sigma E40 brush. This is my favorite blending brush. And I'm going to go in and use this shade for my transition. As you can see all that fallout, I mean, it happens, but it's nothing that makes me dislike the palette because it still blends very well. The colors are amazing, so there's nothing that's going to stop me. Then I'm going to go in with that fudge and my crease with that same Sigma E40 brush. And I'm just showing you here how that one doesn't have as much fallout as the other shade that I used. So it did go on a little heavy, but it's nothing that I can't blend out. So what I'm doing is just using windshield wiper and circular motions just to blend that out so it's just a seamless transition. And I mean, this brush is amazing. And I love, like, I have to use this brush when I'm using this palette. If not, it doesn't blend as well to me. I feel like either my Sigma brushes or my Royal Land Nickel brushes is what works best. But this particular brush, I have to use it just to make sure that all the shadows are blended. Then I'm gonna go back into that first shade that I used, and I like to go over my crease colors just to blend it even more. I'm just showing you how that shadow fell underneath the other shadow, but you can clean it up in the end. So like I said, I'll go over that crease color, that fudge color with that transition shade that I use just to blend it out some more. So that's a trick. If you're having a hard time blending out your shadows where it's just a seamless transition, go back in with the crease color that you used on top. Nothing wrong with that. And then I'm going to take this here brush. It's a Morphe E310 brush. And I'm going to take that fudge back into my crease. I just want to darken it so when I do my cut crease, you'll be able to see that crease color well. And again, just windshield wiper motions, and I'm just dragging that into the inner corner of my eye. And I'm just repeating that to the other side. This is another nice brush. Morphe has nice brushes as well. If you're looking for a more inexpensive brushes, they are really nice. So check them out if you haven't already. So I'm just making sure it's all blended together and it's even on both sides. Going back in with that Pro Concealer on a palette plate, I am just going to carve out my crease. And I'm using that flat eyeliner brush again from Royal Land Nickel. And this here reminds me of doing my wing liner. Like, I be holding my breath, barely breathing. It's like something I have to focus on. And I'm just pulling that down and just making sure it's even, because I do have hooded lids also, so I have to make sure that it can be seen once my lids are open, just the way I like it. And we're going to go back into that palette using the Sigma E55 brush and using that electric shade on the lid. This is the color that had everybody talking about. Like, this shadow is pretty. It's like a yellowish green. It has like a tint of green in it, and it's I don't know, it has like different iridescent shades in it almost. And I'm just patting that on. You can also spray your brush with a setting spray, or you can use water just to have it pack on more. But with this shadow, I just wanted to use the brush dry. And that shade, it's one of my favorites in that palette. I'm gonna go ahead and take that Wet n Wild liner, liquid liner, and create a wing. I like to start with the line drawing back towards your ear. Pull the line back, and then you'll draw it forward. And you'll connect it to your lash line. That's the easiest way I could do it. There's really nothing else that works for me. So I'll just go ahead and line it in the middle and then bring it to the inner corner of my eye just to connect it all together. And this liquid liner, at first it wasn't easy to use, but once you get used to it and the hang of it, it will become easier and more user-friendly. It doesn't clump up, but one thing, it kind of dries quick. So you have to move quick with it, or just keep dipping the brush back into the liquid liner and reapplying some more. Then I have to check in the mirror to make sure it's good. I'm going to use the Kiss lashes in the shade Noir, not the shade, the style Noir. And y'all going to kill me because I realized that my camera was facing the other way. And actually, I wasn't using my camera this time. Normally, I film with the Canon Rebel TI. Today, I decided to use my iPhone 8 Plus just to see how it would turn out. So I went ahead and I'm blending out that contour that I used. The contour shade I used was the Fenty Beauty. It was in the shade Truffle. And I'm just blending that out with the Luxie Beauty brush. As well as my chin, I'm just blending that and pulling that downwards. And then I'm going to take a Real Techniques brush and just buff it all out so you won't have any harsh lines and it's just seamless and looks very natural. So I'm just showing you here that I used the Fenty Beauty foundation, which my shade is in the 330, and then I used the Becca Illuminating Primer. I mixed that into my foundation to give it that nice glowy dewy look, and then I used again that Fenty contour shade in Truffle. Just saying, how did I forget to do that? And I used it Bye Bye Under Eye underneath my eyes. Helps cover bags or any dark spots, and that's in the shade Tan. So I'm just using this Real Techniques flat brush. I don't know the number because it's wearing off, but I'm just packing that on. I let it sit on my skin a little bit just so it could soak into the skin, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just press it in. Deciding on what highlight I'm going to use, and I decided to use the Fenty Beauty in the shade Caramel. And I'm just going to use that Real Techniques brush because applying it directly to the face was wiping off the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye that I applied. So I'm just packing that on. And you just want to lightly tap it in. You don't want to rub because again you'll just move product around. So you can either use sponge, a beauty blender, alcohol sponge, brush, whatever your preference is. I'm just showing you my technique. You just do whatever works for you, but I don't have a real set way that I apply it. Some days I use brushes, some days I use sponges, some days I use my finger. So it's just whatever works for you. And you just want to bring that down your nose, your forehead, your cupid's bow, and your chin. And you want to keep that highlight shade in the center of your face, just so that's where you bring the attention to. And I have a lot of forehead to work with, so I pull mine a little bit higher. And just go ahead and apply that in all those places, and then I'm going to take that Real Techniques brush and blend it out. And this is the bluffing brush. I actually got this set from Marshall's. It had 5 brushes for $9.99. I swear any store I go into, I look for makeup. Yes, I do. And this was a nice deal. These brushes are great. Then I'm going to take the Sacha Buttercup and set my under eye. Before I set it though, I go back in and make sure there's no creasing, because you don't want to set it if there's creasing. So go back out, blend it out, make sure there's no creasing, and then you set it. So I'm just smoothing it back out, making sure I keep my eyes open. And I'm using the ABH Cosmetics 121 brush just to get right underneath the eye, and then I decided to switch to a sponge. It was just gonna be faster using the sponge versus that brush. So So I'm just packing and melting that into the skin. I'm going to take the Laura Mercier translucent powder and I'm going to place that on top of the Sacha Buttercup. It broke, so that's why I did that face. I don't know what happened. So I'm putting that on top of it because the Sacha Buttercup is a little bit too yellow for my skin. So I'm just placing that on top of there. And then I'll go ahead and dust that off with that Real Techniques brush. So I'm dusting and patting a little bit. And I don't bake. No need to bake, so I do not bake. And I'm just making sure I brush all of that off. You will see me blending out a lot. And then I'll take just the Laura Mercier and place it on my forehead and the other areas that I placed the highlight. I do stretch my skin back because I have lines and wrinkles on my forehead, so I'll pull it back and go ahead and place that where the lines are, just so it can prevent a little of the creasing throughout the day. Down my nose, top of my lip, and my chin. So just you want to set everywhere you place that highlight. And I just immediately dust that off as well. And like I was saying, I spend a lot of time blending because I like everything to look as natural as possible. Then I'm just setting around my nose because it creases there as well. So anywhere you have creasing that you want to either eliminate or avoid as any harsh creasing throughout the day, just go ahead and set your setting powder there. I have deep smile lines, so I also stretch out that skin and place it there. I'll go ahead and take this Black Radiance contour palette. It's light to medium to set that contour shade that I use. And this is just a Real Techniques brush. I don't know the name because it's wiping off as well. And whew, when you mess up, don't worry, we can fix it. We can fix it using that Real Technique brush. I'm just gonna buff that out. You always want to tap your brush off. Your girl was feeling herself too much. Forgot to tap it off. And I like to smile just to make sure I bring out my cheekbones. And I'll go ahead and set it down my nose. And also just buff it out. So like I said, I blend a lot during my makeup applications because I like everything to look natural and just flow and look, you know, you're not supposed to see it. It's just supposed to look as natural as possible. So that's what I like to do. I'm going to take one of my favorite blushes by Tarte, and it's in the shade Doll Face. And I'm just using a brush. It's by Bella Pro. It's a powder brush. Again, I picked this up from Marshall's. It works perfect for adding blush to the face. So just adding it to the apples of my cheek and just pulling it back. And then I'm going to take the It Cosmetic Bye Bye Pores and just lightly add that underneath my eyes. And like this package says, it makes your pores disappear, honey. It is really good for pores and it really minimizes it. I got this in my Ipsy bag and I will be buying this once I run out of it. It's amazing. And again, just blending it out. And I'm going to use a oldie but a goodie. This is by ColourPop. It's their highlight in the shade Monster. I'm going to spray actually the Mario Badescu spray before I add the highlight. I like to just add that so it can make my highlight pop, and then also just set that powder in place. So I'm using a Morphe 310 brush. It's an E310 brush. And this is like a purpley pink. It reminds me of unicorn. It gives me unicorn vibes. And I forgot about this. This used to be my highlight. It is so pretty. And then on top of that, another oldie but goodie is Hard Candy. It's in the shade Tiki. This highlight here is gorgeous. So I'm just applying that on top of there. This gives you that glow. Let's just stop and take a look at that. My future is bright. Okay? That highlight is so pretty. And I'm telling you, just have you ever just want to just dance every time you put on that glow? Like, yes, adding it to my Cupid's bow and on my forehead. Yes, yes. So then using MAC Cork Liner, which is one of my favorites, just lining my lips. This is the perfect nude shade. Like, this is my go-to. This pairs so nicely with a nice lip gloss, with a pink, just with everything, honey. If you don't have that, you have to pick it up. Then using a Fenty Beauty lip gloss in the shade Fenty Glow. And you already know how I feel about this lip gloss. It's amazing. It's not sticky. It smells so good. And it just gives you that nice amount of glow to your lips. For the liner today, I'm going to use the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Perversion. This eyeliner is really creamy and it's waterproof. I love this brand, and this is one of my favorite liners. I also got this in an Ipsy bag. Ipsy, you get 5 products for $10 a month if you're not aware of it. Check that out too. I'm just filling my makeup. And then I'm going to spray on the NYX matte finish. Even though the foundation Fenty Beauty is matte finish, I just decided to spray this on it. And basically almost choke myself. And for mascara, I'm using the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. Mascara is amazing. You see how it's extending my bottom lashes? Like, I got length on them. And I did receive this mascara in a PR package from Tarte, and I really do love this. I swear I'm just feeling this makeup look. When it just come out right and all you can do is just dance, that's how I was feeling in this video. This is the final look. I hope you guys like it. And y'all gonna kill me, because when I was recording, I realized the foundation part, the camera wasn't facing me. So RIP to that whole snippet that was going on, because I don't have it. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But if you are rocking with your girl, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell next to the subscribe button so you'll get the notifications once I upload new videos. We'll be here every Tuesday, BTT Beauty Talk Tuesdays. Bring your homegirl, bring everybody. Join us. So until next time, slay and be beautiful. Y'all know y'all be feeling yourself when y'all get your makeup done like, mirror, mirror, who is she? Who is she staring back at me? Why do I have to do so many facial expressions? Like, I got lines for wrinkles for days on my forehead.